Hello, welcome. Doing the guest review again. And today I'm going to talk about the movie Dune Warriors. This movie is from 1991 and directed by Cirio Santiago. By the title, one can think this is a Dune ripoff, but it's from, like I said, from 1991, so it's like 7 years later than the Dune movie, so I don't think so. And also, the movie doesn't have a lot to do with Dunes, so I don't know where the name come from. Okay, so the movie, like all movies should do, start with an explosion. So literally, we have a tons of explosions, and we see some bad guys massacring a whole village in the post-apocalypse. So apparently, in this war, there is no water. The bad guys kills everyone and say to the last survivor, "Where do you get your water?" And he tells the name of the town, and they leave. Then our hero David Carradine appears, start checking out what's happening, and he's in search for the bad guy. He's in a revenge quest. So looking at it, I think it's the same character of the warrior and the sorceress. Maybe it's not, but in my head canon it is. Now we have the opening credits, and then we see Luis and Val. They are the sons of the opposing leaders or more important people of the water town, and they have to marry so they can be peace in this village. The girl Val obviously doesn't want to, and they're talking about the past times. We don't know how many years has happened since all the earth blew up and from the apocalypse. So we're wondering, and the bad guys appear. They start massacring the whole town. It's just a small group of bad guys, not the whole army, and they dominate the town completely, and they say, okay, this bad guy William, such a cool bad guy name, just William, and they say that he's coming over and take charge from the whole town. So this girl says, or lady says, we have to defend ourselves. So I will go to find some warriors. So now we know what happened. What we have here is the typical movie. We have to find a ragtag team of warriors and defend the town. We have seen this exact movie many times before. So she goes out of town to find some warriors. So we don't know exactly how many miles she's wandering the desert. Maybe many miles. Maybe just around the corner. And she finds David Carradine. And he said, "Hey, I'm David Carradine, and I will help you. And let's go to the town of the free people to find more warriors." So they arrive to this free town, and we see some guys doing some joust in motorbikes, and maybe this movie was supposed to be set in like the medieval times, or maybe in some sort of magic land, something like Lord of the Rings, probably. And the budget, it wasn't enough, so they say, okay, let's use some modern stuff, let's use cars, let's use motorcycles. And so this is the post-apocalypse, to have those things. But we don't know exactly how much time has passed, so it's a bit confusing. So we have these two guys doing some motorbike jousting, and they go again and again and again and again. until we lost track who is who, and the champion lost, the young guy wins, and so they lose all the money to this young guy. But they're cool. They say, okay, let's go to the pub to drink some drinks. So in the pub, in one table we have Val and David Carradine, and the other side there is the young guy, the champion, the original Deathstalker actor, and some Latino guy. So Val goes to them and try to recruit them, but another guy said to this trio, hey, I know you, you're some scammers, you're not real fighters, and a big brawl explode in the pub. We have some medieval music sounding, again, maybe this was supposed to be in medieval times. Punching, it's a huge action scene, and they all escape. David Carradine goes into his truck, and they all um, go up in there, and they leave. Bye. So this trio of warriors says, "Okay, lady, we will help you because you have water." So they are going, returning to the water town. And they find another warrior, a female warrior with a shotgun. She knows David Carradine, and said, "Okay, I will go with you." So now we have 5 warriors. They arrive to town at night. In the town there are some few bad guys making guard. So our heroes dispatch them all and take back the town. So they convinced all the townspeople except for Luis, the supposed fiance of Val, and his father, to fight back the bad guys when they arrive. So now we have a gratuitous scene with Val and the female warrior, and then this scene becomes a dramatic scene saying, "Oh, they killed my family," said the funeral. This is super awkward. So this warrior start training the whole town. The young guy from the warriors falls in love with Val, and they're training all the townspeople. And Deathstalker says, "Okay, Luis and young guy, let's fight, training fight." But the young guy humiliates Luis, and he said, "I had enough." So he goes back to his father, and they say, "Okay, let's sabotage this whole plan. Let's go talk to the bad guy, to William, and say, hey, they're plotting to kill you, to make a trap when you came here." So Luis and his father, they let loose the prisoner they have to, so they can come back to William. And William said, "Oh no, this is awful. We should do a full strike, but the movie is too short, so not do a full strike yet. You and you go to town. Then we will all be there." So this small group, a couple of cars and a bike, they arrive, but the townspeople is completely prepared. They have a wall, they have some cannons, they shooting arrows, they throwing nets at them, the whole thing. So they win easily. Yay! This is a fantastic action scene. So thumbs up. But one of the cars of the bad guys is escaping, so Deathstalker and the other guy, they jump into a car with a cannon, and they're following them and shooting, and we have they set the car on fire, and the car goes down the cliff, but the scene is poorly shot. This could have been a great action scene, but it's just okay. Now Val says, I do not respect Luis. I maybe try my luck with you, young guy, you young hot guy. And Deathstalker has a steamy love scene with the female warrior, and David Carradine is drinking mate because this movie was probably shot in Argentina. So William is super angry and says, "I'll do my strike now." And they go to the town, but they have flamethrowers, and they say, "No, maybe retreat, because the movie is need to be more minutes. So let's do it again." So they leave. David Carradine says, okay, we are winning, they have no water, they are weak, so we have the advantage, we have to resist, and when they come back, fight again. And everyone says, yeah, we need to fight again. But Luis and his father, they had enough. They don't want anything to do with these warriors, these freedom fighters. They're helping them, but they don't want it. They want William. So Luis goes out of town. He's going to look for William and says, "Hey, they're preparing a trap, so you have to be prepared." But William already knows this. But okay. So William come back, and now they're throwing bombs over the wall, and then they enter. So we have people shooting, we have squibs, Deathstalker saves a kid, and Luis is with the bad guys. Complete chaos. And the young guy gets captured, the female warrior gets shot and killed, and maybe don't do some close-ups to the paper walls, because they're super obvious that they are not bricks, they are not of stone, and that's fine. You have to work with the limited budget that you have, but try to disguise it a little bit. So now William enters completely victorious and said, I am the ruler of this water town, I have all the water. And our hero said, okay, we have to retreat. So they retreat, and they say, oh, now what we can do? And they say, we have to come back and fight again. Okay, maybe don't retreat then, but we need that scene, because so the movie can last 90 minutes. So we have that scene. But also the Deathstalker saw a kid playing with a grenade and said, "Hey, where do you get that?" And the kid said, "Over there. There's some bunch of guns in a cave." So everything is fixed by mere luck. That's great. And I don't know, maybe it's thematic, because luck will save the day, because they're the lucky five. I don't know. So back in town, the bad guys are being super awful, and we have a scene with the young guy and Val say, "Oh, I love you too. We have to marry and love each other forever." So now is the next day. William says, okay, you, my right hand, you have to fight this young guy in a duel to the death. So they're fighting, but our heroes arrive, and this is awesome. This is full awesome. We have Deathstalker with two guns shooting all over. We have David Carradine wielding a sword. We have the other guy shooting arrows and gets killed. So David Carradine with a sword finally confront William, and William said, "Okay, I'm going to fight you with my sword." So they both have sword, and they are sword fighting, sword fighting. They are so good with their respective sword, but David Carradine wins because he's super awesome, but William is no fool, so he takes a gun and shoot David Carradine in the shoulder, and David Carradine says, "Oh no, my shoulder!" But he swings his sword and cuts William a hand. The hand flew away, and William said, "I have no hand." So David Carradine wins. The whole people arrive to take care of William. We have mob justice in right in front of our eyes, but he's William. He's the bad guy, so he deserves it. So it's fine. So the good guy wins. The young guy stay in town with Val, and Deathstalker said, "No, I'm Deathstalker, so I'm gonna leave because I'm Deathstalker." And David Carradine said, "I'm super loner. I'm David Carradine," and so he goes riding into the sunset. He's not actually riding, but that's the idea of the scene. And the end, the movie ends with a rock and roll type music, upbeat music, and yeah, it's cool. So that's the movie. This movie is pretty good. The idea is not at all original. Probably you have seen many movies with the same plot, but the movie is entertaining. Is short. There are 93 minutes. David Carradine is super cool as always. Or maybe not always, but in this movie he's cool. So I recommend this movie. It's pretty good. I like it. That's it. Please like the video, share it, subscribe to this channel. So that's it. Bye.